A few hours earlier, I thought I was the strongest one there, the most loyal, the one who would never leave Jesus. And the worst part is, I believed it. I was sure of my love, sure of my faithfulness. But that night I was about to learn a brutal truth. A man can truly love God and still fall. And it all began with one sentence. Jesus spoke with a calmness heavier than any shout. There was sorrow in his voice, as if he already carried a pain we could not yet see. Then he said, we would fall, we would scatter. I could not bear it. So I spoke louder and swore that even if everyone else failed him, I never would. Then he looked at me and said what I never forgot. He told me that before the rooster crowed, I would deny him 3 times. 3 times. Those words slammed into everything I believed about myself. I wanted to reject them, fight them, prove him wrong. But something in his eyes unsettled me. It was as if he could already see the man I was about to become. And still, I thought I could stand on my own. We went to the garden. Jesus asked us to stay awake, pray, and remain near him. It sounded simple, but my eyes grew heavy, and while he wrestled in prayer, I surrendered to sleep. Looking back, I know my fall did not begin by the fire. It began in the quiet when I stopped watching. Because no one collapses all at once. First, they drift where no one sees. We think we fall because of one great temptation, but often collapse begins in smaller places. When we stop praying, trust our emotions too much, and assume passion alone will carry us. I thought my sincerity was enough. That night proved otherwise. The fire of a moment cannot hold up a heart that has stopped watching. And then, through the dark, I saw the torches. When they came for Jesus, the silence shattered. Torches, soldiers, tension, fear. I reacted like a man running on emotion. I drew my sword. I wanted to defend him. I wanted to prove I was still the man I claimed to be. But Jesus stopped me and told me to put it away. In that moment, I felt something breaking inside me. He was not going to fight the way I expected. I did not leave completely, but I did not stay the way I had promised either. I followed Jesus from a distance, and that distance changed everything. No one abandons him all at once. Sometimes they just move far enough away to feel safe, close enough to say they are still there, but not close enough to stand when it starts to cost them. And that distance led me straight to the fire. I entered the courtyard and felt the cold sink into my skin. People were gathered around a fire, so I moved closer. While Jesus was being questioned, I was searching for warmth somewhere else. I have never forgotten that. Fear makes people seek comfort in the wrong places. And that was where everything started sinking. At first, it was only one look. But one look was enough to shake me. A servant girl pointed at me and shouted that I had been with him. Her voice cut through the night, and suddenly all eyes turned toward me. Fear tightened around my chest, and before I could think, I denied it. I said I did not know what she meant. The words left my mouth so quickly, I barely recognized my own voice. Something inside me cracked right there. And the worst part is, I still stayed. After the first denial, I was no longer fighting fear alone. I was fighting shame too. And shame did not push me toward truth. It trapped me. Once a man falls and refuses to face it, it becomes easier to sink lower. I knew something was wrong. I felt it. But instead of stepping into the light, I stayed there trying to protect my image. Then another chance came, and I failed again. Someone else noticed me. Again, I heard the same suspicion. Again, I had the chance to stand firm. And again, I failed. I denied knowing him. I denied belonging to him. By then, it was no longer just fear. Something violent was happening inside me. One part remembered who I claimed to be. The other only wanted to survive. And then I felt the pressure getting worse. The third time was different. This was no longer vague suspicion. They recognized me. My accent gave me away. The way I spoke exposed me. My closeness to Jesus had marked me more than I realized. I could feel their certainty tightening around me. There was no easy way out now. In that moment, I had to choose between the truth that could cost me everything and the lie that felt safer for one more second. So, I denied him a third time. Harder, louder, more desperately. By then, it was no longer simple self-protection. It was panic, a frantic attempt to escape the consequences of being known. And the moment the words left my mouth, before the air had even settled, I heard a sound that split the night in two. The rooster crowed. And in that instant, everything I had been running from caught up with me. I have never heard a sound like that again, not because it was louder than anything else, but because it went straight through me. In one instant, I remembered every word Jesus had spoken, every promise I had made, and every lie I had just told. That crow did not only expose my failure, it shattered the illusion I had about my own strength. Then something even worse happened. In the middle of the chaos, Jesus turned and looked at me. There was no hatred in his eyes, no humiliation, no cruelty. There was truth, pain, compassion, and a love so deep that instead of crushing me, it undid me completely. That look showed me exactly who I was, and somehow it still did not cast me away. In that instant, I understood my pride, my self-confidence, and how easy it is to speak boldly about faith when it has not cost you anything yet. Everything I believed about myself began to fall apart. I was not the strong man I imagined. I was weak, impulsive, afraid, and desperately in need of the grace of God. I ran from that place shattered, not like a brave man, but like a man who had finally seen himself clearly. And I wept, more bitterly than ever before. This was the pain of failing in the very place where I had sworn I would be strongest. It was the crushing weight of realizing that with my own mouth, I had denied the one my soul loved most. For a time, I believed my worst night would define me forever. I thought I had ruined everything. That after denying Jesus 3 times, no future could remain for a man like me. That is a darkness few people speak about. Not only sorrow for what you did, but the belief that you can never return from it. That your failure gets the last word. That night showed me who I was without depending on God, and it was devastating, but it was also necessary. After falling that hard, I never trusted my own strength the same way again. So if you are hearing my story, remember this: your worst night does not have to be your end. Your failure does not cancel the love of Christ. Later, I understood something I never could have imagined that night. The Lord I denied did not leave me in my failure forever. He did not make my fall the end of my story. Yes, He confronted me, but He also restored me. He showed me that true repentance is not the end of a man. It is often the beginning of a deeper transformation. Thanks for watching till the end. Comment mercy if this spoke to you.